Okay, so we're here together. We're here in Tzfat. It's actually quiet right now, but all day and all night we've been hearing the planes plowing the sky. And the feelings are very strong. The emotions are very strong. Uh, the sights, everything we're feeling from Am Yisrael. And we're here to see what could we do. Everyone has this feeling of calling. What do I do at this time? Person doesn't want to just sit back at this time and watch. There's a feeling of invitation. There's something we could do. There's attitudes that we could have or not have that will help us. So to strengthen, we all need this to remind ourselves what our attitude and our deeds should be in these days. Today, we'll start off with, today is the Yahrzeit of the Berditchever. Sasha and Berditchev. The Berditchever, his whole life was about Kav Zchut, about seeing the good in everything and everyone in every scenario, seeing the Zchut. And this avodah of seeing good in ourselves and in others is avodah that's always important. And especially at this time, I think we should start off with the focus on seeing the good and talking about the good in each other. The Berditchever writes in the end of Parashat Bo, the mouth of a Jew, Peshel Eish Israeli, is only created for two things. One is to say words of Torah and Tefillah, and one is lelamed zchut al Am Yisrael. No matter what, that means to teach Kav Zchut, that means that no matter what I've seen in a person, or I think of a person, in my opinion, whatever it is, at the end of the day, what comes out of my mouth, the words that I say about another Jew are only good. Achtov v'chesed. So this is a very good inyan to mitchazek in today, starting off with the Berditchever to see the good in everything and everyone. And this is very, very deep. The Baal Shem Tov teaches us that really in a deep way, person has to dan HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Kav Zchut. We have to judge HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to give him the Kav Zchut. Because when a person sees the judgment of Hashem, it's so deep, it's so mysterious, it's so endless, that a person could think, Chas v'shalom, does Hashem love me? Does he not love me? Is there, what's going on? And we have to really ladun et Hashem yitbarach l'Kav Zchut. You have to judge Hashem l'Kav Zchut, that for sure he's the owner and the master and the creator of everything. And he's good. Adula Adonai kitov, ki l'olam chasdo. Everything he does is for the good. And even though I can't see how this event or this time, how it's benefiting for the good, I'm nidanato l'Kav Zchut. I'm judging Hashem l'Kav Zchut that for sure everything is good. I'm accepting him. I'm trusting him. I'm loving him. And this is a very strong avodah that people don't normally think of as avodat Hashem. I think of Kav Zchut as my friend. Like my friend said something to me, or I find myself in a position and I'm going to judge him favorably. But to judge God favorably? You ever think about that, Jack? Is it not necessary? Sometimes in our mind, when things don't go right, who are you angry at in your mind? You're angry at the reality. Who's the reality? What's the reality? Is it not Yud Kei Vav Kei, the Creator Himself? So sometimes there's a gaiva, there's a gaiva of a person, the thing that we know better. I have plans. I want it to be this way. Kadosh Baruch Hu, whatever you do, whatever you do, I'm a kabel. I'm loving it. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. So that's the general attitude to have always, and I think in these days to strengthen very, very much in these difficult times of Nisayon that Am Yisrael is going through right now. In general, the Nisyonot of before the Geula, the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, writes at length in many places about the many wars that are going to take place before Mashiach comes. We're holding in the last 100 years, there's been wars in the world, crazy world wars, more and more and more. And the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, writes that the purpose of these wars is to eliminate the people in the world that are not going to have the zchut to receive Mashiach. Because the Geula is happening. It's been happening faster and faster since the Arizal in the last couple 100 years, but since Baal Shem Tov, it's going faster and faster, and now it's like moving faster and faster in this world. And To understand the Geula that we're about to experience, we always have to understand the Geula of Mitzrayim, Yetziat Mitzrayim. In Yetziat Mitzrayim, not everyone left. We know v'chamushim alu bnei Yisrael in Mitzrayim. There were 4/5 of Am Yisrael that died in Mitzrayim. 4/5. That means that if 600,000 left, that's a fifth. 4/5 didn't leave, didn't make it out. Why didn't they make it out? Why did they die? What was the determining factor in Yetziat Mitzrayim? Who made it and who didn't make it? There was only one thing: the people that wanted to be redeemed. There were people that wanted to be redeemed and people that didn't want to be redeemed. If you were living in Egypt, if you imagine the time of the 10 plagues, there could have been a lot of thinking, a lot of Jewish investment, property, real estate. Imagine, no? You see the whole Egyptian empire collapsing. If you're a Jew, what do you think? Let's just wait. Everything's here. Buy it all out. It's all yours. The land, the owners of the land, everyone is dying. So you just, this is a perfect country. We'll stay here. Now we have to realize before Yetziat Mitzrayim, there were many of Am Yisrael that were connected to the Egyptians. They were connected to them in politics. They were connected to them in positions in the treasury. They had a lot of benefits. Not everyone wanted the Geula. The most important factor of people that were redeemed were people that wanted to be redeemed. Jack, you want to be redeemed? You want to. It means that a person has to be redeemed. That person has to live in a mindset that no matter what I have now in this Gullus, I'm willing to give everything I have up for what's going to happen in the Geula. I trust that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that the Geula is way higher and better for myself and for everything in the world and everything that I experience in Galut. It's amazing. And since we're touching on Yetziat Mitzrayim, which is Yetziat Mitzrayim is a general way to understand the Geula that we're going to experience Hayom, Alevai, Hayom, B'mera B'yamenu. And Ga'alti Etcharem Acharit Kereshit. The final Geula will be exactly like the first Geula. So we're talking about Emunah. Everyone wants to know, where do you get Emunah? Right? You want to be strong in Emunah. You want to have a strong Emunah. These times. Bitachon. You want to have security. Right? Who doesn't want security? What's the top valued right now in the world? What does everyone want? Security. What is security? Bitachon. Where does bitachon come from? It comes from emunah, from believing. Where does emunah come from? How do I get emunah? What do you think, Yehuda?
Trusting to have like trials over time. Experience.
Emunah, there's different ideas of emunah, and there's also a Christian word for emunah called blind faith, which is not true. We do not. Am Yisrael does not have blind faith. Our emunah is based on that, based on emes. Every day in Ma'ariv, say Hashem Elokechem emet ve'emunah, emet ve'emunah. It says in the Zohar, I emet ve'i emunah. Emet and emunah is male and female. They go together. Emet and emunah are a male and female. It's very deep words. The Maggid brings us down in a lot of Torah about this. If we go back to Yetziat Mitzrayim, imagine that we're in Egypt, absolutely involved in the Egyptian culture. That means we know nature to the fullest. We can manipulate every part of nature. That's what they did. They were wizards. Wizards means the absolute manipulation of nature to use whatever things you want. And then suddenly Moshe comes and says, "There's Yud Kei Vav Kei. There's a creator to the world." And the Egyptians are talking, "What are you talking about? We know all the systems, the astrological, the astronomical. There's no such Yud Kei Vav Kei. We know everything. Look, it doesn't exist." And he shows them boom after one, makkah after makkah, 10 makkahs. Why 10 makkahs? Why 10 makkahs? Because there's 10 sfirot. Because the creation is created constantly through 10 pulses, through 10 choices, through 10 utterances, through 10 revelations of Hashem. It's a constant 10. So therefore they were denying this 10. Hashem gave them 10. 10 smacks real good. What did the Jews get when they get out of Mitzrayim? Aseret HaDibrot. They get the 10 ways of 10 dibros, meaning the 10 correct ways to connect to the creation and to the world. But when Am Yisrael was going through these makot, let me ask you guys, did they have emes or did they have emunah? Did they know or did they believe? The answer is they knew. No, they didn't believe. They knew. What do you mean? You know. When your blood, when you're drinking from a cup, and my straw is water and your straw is blood, I believe. I know. If I see frogs, makas, you know. So the makas brought a das, the knowledge of the Creator, an entire intense systems, sphere after sphere, level after level, revelation after revelation. There was a level of knowledge beyond doubt. So that's what. So what's the point of Bechira? If there's the idea, the answer is no. When they left Mitzrayim, Vayaminu ba'Adonai u'b'Moshe avdo. That's when Am Yisrael reached Emuna. That's when they reached trust. Because everything you showed me till now, that I know. But based on what you showed me till now, you want to tell me there's more? There's more? Everything you showed me till now was just an entry? Now I have to believe you on that. But I'm not believing you blindly. I'm believing you because I have a knowledge of you, because I have a relationship with you. We already existed together in 10 spheres and 10 makkahs. That means that emunah is not some vague thing. I believe, I don't believe, I don't have it. No. A Yehudi in his life has a bank of emes. Every one of us has a standing relationship with the Creator that's not emunah. There's a level of knowledge that you know of Hashem. You didn't walk a mile with Hashem in your life. A person could be 18, 19, 30, 40. You didn't have an experience with Hashem once in a while. You never called Him and He answered you. You never felt Him. Of course you did. Everyone did. We have a level of emes inside of us. We have a level of knowledge. I say, "Ani lo ma'amin b'Hashem. Ani yodea sheyesh Hashem." And I have a knowledge. Based on this knowledge, it gives me the ability to go forward and to do things that are above my strengths and above my abilities. And just like in human relationships, trust. Take money and trust in business. Trust is a basic. If we have a standing relationship as a merchant, and it's $10,000 a month of merchandise, great. Go on like this for 10 years, 10,000 every month. You get paid, no problem. Do you trust me? No, you know you get the money. It's like, but then after I come to you after a couple of years of business, and I say, listen, till now we were doing 10,000. Jump with me to 1,000,000. That extra 900,000, that's trust. But it's not blind. It's trust based on the years of experience that we had and the trust that we built. A Yehudi in his entire life, we don't wait for crises. We have relationships where we speak to Hashem constantly on the big stuff, on the small stuff. This builds inside of our being a standing relationship of knowledge. I know, ani yodea. And then when things get tough, when Hashem wants to take me to the extra jump, when I have to go higher than myself, because we're all here to go higher than ourselves. We're all here to not stay in our comfort zone, to develop, to grow out of our comfort zone higher. How do I get out of my comfort zone? That's emunah. That's emunah. So when things happen to us, when our worldview is shaken and so many things are shaken to us, how do we have emunah at that time? Because we close our eyes and we go deeper into our emes, into the truth that we know. And this is really, this time, it's a time of international crisis of Am Yisrael. There hasn't been a pogrom like this since the Holocaust. In one day, so many Yidden were killed in horrific ways. Hashem is that, Hashem Erechem. It's a time of crisis, and like every crisis has in it multiple directions in the midst of the crisis. A crisis is the end of everything that was till now, possibly, potentially, or the potential of a brand new beginning with an unknown future. No one knows what lies in a crisis. The crisis is in your hands and everyone's hands. Where they go from this, where they go from these feelings, how they take this experience. Do they take it to say, wow, my worldview is shattered and wow, I can't handle, there's no worldview, I can't handle these facts based and my whole world is confused? Or do I say, wow, Creator of the world, mishpatecha tehom rabah. Who could understand your judgment? I can't understand your judgment, but I have emunah in you because I walked with you not 1 mile, not 2 miles, many, not one day, not one night, Jack. How many hard times did you walk with Hashem in our life? Huh? So when big things happen, we say, Hashem, okay, I'm judging you l'kav zchut. I know this is for the good. There cannot have been a better way to bring the world to tikkun olam based on this. This is you with your love, you with your endless rachamim. This is the anhaga that you allow to happen. So our bitachon, let's go backward. What we want is security. Bitachon, everyone wants security. Israel spends all their money on most of the budget on the army. Security. The whole world. People have insurances, they do everything, all the business. If you look at what they're doing, Everything is to eventually reach a feeling of security. How many people have that feeling of security? Not many at all. Because if you're leaning on something that's not stable, deep inside you can't be safe. Right? If my whole security comes from leaning on this little gate, how secure could I be as long as this gate ends? So my security is something physical, it's not real security. A Jew is not comfortable inside because, okay, what's going to be in there? Who's the insurance of my insurance? But when a Yid has emunah and bitachon, what's our emunah? We know that the world was here before, way before I was born. It's going to be way after me. There's a story that's way bigger than me, that's before me, that's after me. There's a Borei Olam that's way bigger, there's a story that's way bigger. And he allows us in his Torah to get to know him, to have an emes of him, to learn how he deals with humans that have a relationship with him, humans that ignore him. He teaches us in the Torah how to work. And this gives us emunah, and the emunah gives us bitachon. Very interesting, Nakuda also about this particular war. They named this war something Barzel. What they name it? Mudei Barzel. What? Saravot Barzel. Swords of iron. Barzel. The word Barzel. Now, obviously, I don't think that they had this kavana when they made it in mind. But Am Yisrael says in the Gemara, everything that Am Yisrael does, even by mistake, is holy. And everyone is talking about, so to speak, like to the naked eye, what's the reason to all this? And one of the terrorists that was caught, they asked him, like, what gave you guys the inspiration to go on such a crazy? And they said, we saw you guys so busy with the Afghanot, like with the demonstrations and the inner fighting, like Arabs. They see you guys like, it's like Sheshbesh. You see the guy in Balagan, you throw the dice, right? He's in Balagan, your dice have more. That's how it's Arabic thinking. That's it. They saw you guys, they saw Am Yisrael fighting. Terrorists said, I saw this on the crazy. That's what they said. And this is not their invention. This goes back to Haman HaRasha. When Haman HaRasha comes to Achashverosh, and this we know that the Sfarim teach us that when Haman is talking about in the higher worlds, because the war is not just only here. The war is in all the worlds. B'shamayim u'va'aretz. There's a war in heavens right now, and the war, everything. The heavens and the earth are one. It's all one. In the angelic world, is manifest in the physical world. It's all one. So there's crazy, crazy, crazy action in the spiritual world and crazy war. And Haman, who is the dark spiritual side, stands in front of the king and says, I want to wipe out Am Yisrael. And the king says, what are you talking about? Why? And he says, Yeshno Am Echad, mefuzar u'meforad ben kol ha'amim. This is his claim. He says, there's one nation, but they're so dispersed. They don't get along. They're fighting. They don't get together. They're not one. That's his taina. That's his entry into the king. Like, how'd you go into the king and say, I wanted to kill your favorite nation? What? I mean, there's no shalom. If there's no shalom, there's no bracha. It's amazing to me, and that's every Rav, everyone has anyone that's looking at this time is seeing that since this happened, there's been tremendous peace on the Ben Gvir, Netanyahu, and Gantz, all these guys, and it's not just from everyone is understanding, like, whoa, let's wake up, let's do something together here. And it's amazing. Listen to how deep this is. Barzel, the word Barzel, you ready for this, Nachum? Is Rashi Tevot, Bilha, Rachel, Zilpa, and Leah. These are our four mothers. Am Yisrael is built out of Arba'a Imaot. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. But who are the holy mothers? Bilha, Rivka, that's the four wives of Yaakov. And they are Rashi Tevot Barzel. Eretz asher avanea barzel. The quality that Am Yisrael has is that we are a nation of steel, of iron, which is interesting because the koyach of Esav is al char b'chatichya, is the koyach of Barzel, which the Medrash says that the Barzel was nivra lekatzer yamav shel adam. The metal was created to shorten the life of man. So that means there's an agent that the Creator created to shorten the life of man called Barzel, which is Gematria Amalek, by the way, with the koila, saying Gematria. And this is the power of killing, the power of sword, the power of Esav, the power of the that's anti-Am Yisrael. What is the antidote for Barzel? What's the only thing that could stop this? Is when Am Yisrael is an antidote. when the kids of Bila and Zilpah and Rachel and Leah are together, then the Barzell is one, then the holy metal is on, then the holy metal destroys the other metal. So it's not Stam that Am Yisrael chose the name for this mission, Barzel, because this is really the calling of the time, is the tremendous ichud, the tremendous unity that each one of us should be in his heart. First of all, an absolute forgiveness and acceptance in our heart, in our zone, and doing everything we can out of ourselves. In general, we spoke about this whole Chodesh Elul, and say this again and again and again. What we need is rachamim. The world needs mercy, rachamim. Look at the cruelty, look at the achzariyut that we were shown by these monsters, by these shedim, by these demons. The world needs rachamim, mercy. How does mercy come to the world, Jack? Who brings mercy to the world? You know who? Humans. Humans bring everything to the world. Every little decision that you decide to be merciful in a conversation, in an argument, in anything, someone insults you, someone disagrees with you, someone says something, anytime you have, and especially when you're right, say, okay, I'm choosing to bring compassion, to bring rachamim into my life. No one deserves it. It's not about anyone else. It's about understanding that the world needs rachamim. And the way rachamim could happen to the world is only when human beings bring in rachamim. And the way mercy comes in is through our human relationships. That means that our physical human relationships are not just empty physical relationships. Oh, I saw this guy and he did and he said and he called. No. These are the way to bring in heavenly mercy into all the worlds. It's through bringing in mercy into our human relationships.
What do we ask God for mercy so much?
We ask Him for mercy because that's what we need. Because that's what the world needs. Exactly. Very good.
Just do it.
Jack is saying a good thing. We say Yud Gimel Midot Shel Rachamim. Hashem Kel Rachum V'Chanun, right? So that is calling, that's asking for the mercy to come in. But that's just words. But the Rishonim write that if you want to really ask for the mercy, you have to activate the mercy by doing it. Not to say the words. The words are the words. These are the things that have to happen. But how do you make them happen? By making them happen. Not by calling them. By exercising, by practicing actual mercy in your actual human relationships. When that guy, that jerk, that guy that said, that cut you, that did, and and you're going to show him, and you're going to do to him because you're right this time. Wow. Bing. There should be a light in your mind. Wait, I'm right. I could really destroy this guy. Now wait, this is my chance to show mercy. Wow, I've just been given an opportunity to bring mercy, not just into my life, into the life of everyone that you hear, every hostage, and every kidnapped, and every person that's injured. We don't need rachamim? What do these people need? Godly mercy, miracles. Who could bring godly mercy and miracles into the world? Only us. By activating it in our human relationships. So if things are going tough these days and things are stressed because they're stressed, things are not stressed because they're stressed. They're stressed because there's more opportunities to invite mercy into our lives, into the entire creation. You never thought you were that important. Who else is going to bring mercy in? The cats, the dogs? Who? The trees? Who has choice? Who has access to godly attributes? The Adam. And from the Adam, who cares about it? The Goyim, they don't care nothing. If you're a person that learns Torah, that knows Hashem, you have a chance to invite these things into the world. Gewalt. The whole world is dependent on you. It's waiting for you. The Rambam writes this, and the Rambam writes that every person should see his actions, that each one of his actions is actually causing the entire world to lean, to change. The ratio of how much mercy is revealed in the whole world. Mercy is words. For some people, mercy means, are they going to stay alive or die? Are they going to be captured right now, or someone going to go kill this terrorist right now? It actually means rachmim, din or rachmim. This is really what the Gemara says in Megillah, that 48 Nevi'im, 48 male prophets and 7 female prophets all tried to get Am Yisrael to do one thing, to do tshuva. But who was the master tshuva maker? Hami. Who got everyone to really do tshuva? Haman. What all the rabbis couldn't do, that one Russia from Baghdad, from Iran, did. Amazing. What?
Can't be that.
And that's what it says. That's Fasem says, Et tzara hi leYaakov umimena yivasha. That's the sefer that the pasuk that's talking about this time for Mashiach, that it's a tzara leYaakov. It's a time of distress, of a narrow type of anhaga, a very dark type of anhaga, hidden type of anhaga. Umimena, from mimena is the same letter as mehaman. Mehaman yivasha. The Yeshua will come from Haman. You see, that's how it happened at the end. Imagine being at this time of Achashverosh and Esther. It was way, way worse than today. 1,000,000 times worse than today. Today we have the country, you have this, you have all kinds of plans. Back then, there was one king, the whole world. He had one guy that was worse than Hitler. He had a wife that was worse than who knows what. She was a witch, Shein Kamaya. She was an astrologist. She knew all the stars. She had 365 advisors that rewrites, each one for every day of the year, to know exactly what day is the Mazel of Am Yisrael is the worst. What could we do? Wherever you were sitting in the world, you were depressed. If you were a Jew, where are you going to run? He didn't even do it systematically, like we'll do Europe one day and then Africa the next day. Because you could think, okay, I'll run there in one day. No. One day, everybody, local armies, no transportation, local civilians, take pitchforks, everyone just kill them all. Done. Signed by the king of the world. No UN, no politics, no government, no nothing. So people thought there were some Jews that knew the secret. Esther's the Jew. Esther's a Jew. We have Trump. We have all kinds of Zachin. People think, what did Esther do? Esther said, you guys are going to rely on me. You're not going to, what can I do? I'm nothing. I'm nothing. She goes ahead and she invites Achashverosh and Haman to an intimate feast. Only them. You know what happened to Am Yisrael then? They were done. Even the people that had any hope, and Esther said, that's it. She's done. She gave it and she's sold out. She's sold her soul. And then that's when things really started changing. That's when things woke up. When a person, you know, we always speak about this, that tefillah, davening, and surrendering is the same posture. Surrendering in war, right? You lift up your hands. What's davening? Lifting up your hands. Why? How is it the same? Because until a person surrenders, they're not starting to daven. That means my hands, which symbolize my kochot, my strengths, as long as I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to call and I'm going to do, and I know, and I'm my hands are busy in the physical. They're not. But when a person surrenders, when they tell him, sorry, sir, there's nothing we could do. It's all finished. Doctors say no, or there's nothing we could do. The hands go up. Because if it's not here, then where is it? So that's the deep tnu'ah, the deep motion in the nefesh of a person. And when a person reaches a holy place of holy surrendering, not a yush, that's falling into sadness, there's nothing to do. No. I can't do anything. But there's one, the only one that could do everything. He's the only one, and maybe to him I'm going to turn all my strengths to. So I'm going to pull out my strengths from the physical, from all my things that I could do, and I'm going to put my strengths into the heaven and say, Creator of the world, you're the only one, and you're the only one that I could trust. So, my deep friends, Yiratzon, that this year that started off so harshly, with so much pain, the Gemara says that Shana shehi rasha betchilata mitasheret besofa. A year that's poor at its beginning becomes rich towards the end. And Yiratzon, that this unbelievable time that Am Yisrael is going through now should end in a happy note, in a note of nisim and niflaot, where we see all the prisoners returning home and all these rashaim being destroyed to the ground, and that this event should really be a deep awakening for all of Am Yisrael everywhere in the world, to really, every one of us, to be at their highest, deepest, holiest behavior, and to come together with tremendous love, to realize that this is the calling, is coming together, Ahavat Yisrael, Bilha, Rachel, Zilpa, Leah, everyone together. This is our Barzel, this is our Koach. Look in the sky all day, back and forth, plowing the skies. I feel like I'm under a plow. This last 2 days, like there's not a minute without a plane in the sky. And yesterday with the thunders.
Yeah.
Wow. So we should awaken from this in a good way. And this should be really a deep invitation for everyone, like we said, in crisis, not to Chas Hashem fall apart in any way, but to Adrabah, to be built more as a team, to realize that we're not, every one of us is not only a private eye. Am Yisrael is the great, great eye. Ata echad, v'shimcha echad, u'mika amcha Yisrael, goy echad ba'aretz. We should close our eyes more, connect to Am Yisrael more, daven for Am Yisrael more, feel such pride. Ashreinu matov chelkenu. Is a kef liot Yehudi. We're Am Yisrael. Why are these Goyim, why are these Rishayim even pursuing us? Just because we're Am Yisrael, they don't know us, they don't care about us. They hate Hashem, they hate Yudke Vavke, they hate the Torah, they hate meaning, they hate life, and they hate His people, they hate His boys and His girls, His nation that's connected to Him. And we're with Him, we love Him, and He loves us. There's no doubt in our mind there's going to be a tremendous Yeshua. We're going to go into a good year, a year of Shalom, a year of Achdut. And this should be really a milestone, a significant milestone in everyone's waking up and unifying and calling to Hashem. We should receive this year a Shir Chadash, a new song, a new gift, a new light, a new hanaga from Hashem. יהי רצון שכולנו נזכה לשנה טובה ומתוקה. חזק וברוך.